Now, the annual Orchid Festival of London's Kew Gardens is focused on the wildlife of Cameroon. Our next report looks at how thousands of orchids have been used at the UNESCO World Heritage Site to create the display inspired for the first time by an African nation. Take a look.
An apex predator created in vibrant florals. Florists and gardeners are putting the finishing touches to this lion installation at the Royal Botanic Gardens, Kew. The huge sculpture is the centerpiece of the Kew annual Orchid Festival. It is the 27th Orchid Festival at Kew. It runs from the 4th of February until March 5th, 2023. Planning for the event began last summer. For the last 3 weeks, 5 Kew gardeners and an army of almost 1,000 volunteers have been setting up the vivid display. Thousands of orchids shipped in from the Netherlands have been used to decorate the Princess of Wales Conservatory.
We have 6,200 plants that got brought for the Orchid Festival. Within those 3,200 are orchids, and you have mainly Phalaenopsis orchids and Cymbidiums. Those orchids have been bred for many years, and we have a varied choice of colors and shapes for our design.
This year, the festival's theme is Cameroon. It's the first time an African nation has provided the inspiration for this event. The country's influence can be seen in the animal sculptures dotted around the conservatory. A wallowing hippo, a crocodile ready to snap, or a giraffe with its head in the clouds. But the Cameroonian flavor goes deeper than these animals.
So we took inspiration from the native fauna and flora of Cameroon, but also from their huge diversity, melting pot of communities. There's over 250 different communities in Cameroon and Chefferies, and they have amazing artwork, beaded artwork. So we took this inspiration of the bead for our necklace of orchids. And also they've got fabric and all those colors. We took that as an inspiration for the palette of color we used.
A photography exhibition sits alongside the flowers. These photographs are by Yvonne Ngazem and capture the life in the village of Bikoka, Lolodorf in Cameroon. They are part of the Bikoka Art Project, an art initiative for women and young people from the country. The exhibition has been curated by art critic and historian Christine Ayen. Wandering through the greenhouse, if you listen carefully, you might hear the sounds of music and other noises. For Ayen, the whole experience is about putting an African stamp on Kew's Orchid Festival.
Really, it's about in a way, the black presence, at Kew Gardens and in this conservatory. There's also a soundscape that goes with the exhibition, so it's about the sound from our culture, and I really want people to sort of be immersed in the sonic environment that they would get if they were going to Cameroon.
Kew's orchid collection holds about 1,300 species, a fraction of the 25,000 that have been discovered around the world. Wild orchids are under threat. Professor Michael Fay, an orchid expert and senior research leader at Kew, says Cameroon's orchids are doing no better.
Cameroon has about just over 400 species of wild orchids, and we know where we are with about 25% of those, and they have about the same level of threat as orchids worldwide, so there's somewhere between 60 and 70% of them are threatened with extinction in the wild.
Orchids can be an early indicator of an ecosystem in trouble. They are dependent on fungi, which provide them with food, as well as a variety of pollinators. So when orchids begin dying, it's a sign that another part of that complex chain which supports them could be in danger. In Cameroon, orchids face a very particular set of threats. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.
WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.